The dawn of civilization. Primitive. Dangerous. Exciting. The handwriting is on the wall. If the human race is ever going to amount to anything, it needs
the most civilized caveman I have ever seen.
Look who's come out of his cave.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. This is James from Cave Dweller Music. I have my co-host Brendan with me today, and today we have a special guest, which is one of the CDM team, one of the admins. This is Dr. Yasman, as he's known on his Twitch channel, but you can call him Yari as well, whichever you prefer. Welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Twitch.tv/Dr. Yasman, and you can find me on the Cave every most days of the week on our Instagram page, Cave Dweller Music.
Yep, you see those on our Facebook page as well. He is the man that does our highly emotive reels that have been pretty popular last few months. So you definitely see his face, you know his voice, and now he's here.
And if you're listening to this, and you want to be featured on the Cave, you can always message. You can always contact Cave Dweller Music through any of our channels: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. You can contact us and you can say, "Hey, can I be featured on the Cave?" and pitch it to us, and we'll have a look. And yeah, you'll most likely, don't worry, you'll have a good time getting on there.
Awesome. We kind of just want to do this episode because it's been a while since we've done some like general Cave Dweller updates. So we kind of want to take today just to run through what's coming up, what's been happening, talk about some of our side projects, give some plugs to some of our support, like the people we support, our partnerships, just that sort of thing there. So does anything we want to talk about to start off with? I know we've just finished our most recent charity sampler, which was Mind Over Metal 3, and we raised quite a bit of money there. So anything you guys want to say regarding that?
I think we did well. I think it was great that we were able to do that. And it was bigger than we've ever done in previous years. It was our biggest charity sample project. And it seems like, every time we do these projects, and we're doing, we've already done 2 this year, and there's going to be another one coming up soon. And I think every time we do these, we keep doing well. We have so many great artists being featured on them. We always have such great charities, so many people working behind the scenes to bring these to fruition. And also Brendan has been heading up fantastic merch relating to these projects. So maybe you could share a bit on that too, Brendan.
Yeah, we have done another run for the mom, and Mind Over Metal. And with that compilation we did, we had an artist, Tommy Wilson, do all that fun collaboration with us. And then we have that printed on the front of the shirt. And then we have Cave Dweller Music written down the side and Mind Over Metal written down on the other sleeve. And yeah, they came out really great, and they're all bagged up. Just got to get a couple of things sorted logistically, and then everybody will have that in their hands.
Yeah, they're full black and white, which is really cool. Gives it like dirty grindcore kind of feel.
Tommy Wilson,
it looks like it's been Xeroxed 100 times. It's nice.
Tommy Wilson's art is just, I love it. It's really the perfect kind of, we've worked with him a fair bit this year, and it's on 2 different projects, and he's been a pleasure to work with. At Instagram.com/Tommy Wilson Design, there's a link tree there. He's on a few different platforms, so check him out. Awesome artwork, just really nails that underground, like kind of rebellious ethos that I think
politically
fits
charged.
so well with us.
It's great. He actually just released a book, by the way, which you can pick up on his through his link tree, which is I think it's called like
Painful Existence.
Yeah, the work of Tommy Wilson. Got some really cool images in there. He's actually coming on the podcast this Tuesday. So there will be an episode up with him. If you guys are interested in hearing about that, make sure you check that one out. It'll be up after this episode. That's
something I'm really excited for us to be doing as well, because having like visual artists on our platform, on our podcast, and also, we've reviewed their work before. I think featuring that aspect of music is something that isn't done enough in our kind of community, the music world, because they do bring such a huge part of what we love to the table. Visual art is such a huge element of listening to music as well. And so
the number of times that I've chosen to cover, like, check an album out just because I saw the album art and I was like, that's sick, I'm going to listen to that. It's like,
yeah,
it's so important.
it can kind of inform your understanding of the music too, because you look at the choices that the band has made, and that sort of meshes with the choices the artist made.
Yeah.
And it gives you kind of a window into how the band sees their music and how they see the world sometimes. And I think it's just, there's so many layers of that graphic aspect that adds to music that just doesn't get exposed enough. So it'll be really good having Tommy on there.
That's one of the things that I miss about physical media, like with like CDs
Yeah.
and vinyls and stuff. I used to love going through those like word books and stuff that they used to, the CD word books and everything, like the see what album art they had inside those and on the back of the cover and stuff. Like I do miss that. I mean, streaming takes that away from you. All you get is a small JPEG image of the cover art and that's it, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, that's true. It kind of reminds me of with computer games. You used to get the old, like, PC games, especially. You'd get the big box. It's like this really tough cardboard box. It's got nice artwork on it. You open the box and there's like a manual in there, and there's like all this fluff and lore about the manual. And sometimes you get like a cloth map, and like I kind of like all that stuff. It's so rare these days.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that you miss when you go digital instead of physical. I mean, I'm not going to complain about digital. I love digital. It's so easy to, we have access to more music than we've ever had in human history. It's awesome, but you do miss like some of the personalized touch with that.
Yeah, which hopefully we can, at Cave Dweller, hopefully we can bring a little bit of that back and bring a little bit of that joy into the music that you, all our listeners, enjoy, because we all here are very passionate about what we do, and hopefully with our enthusiasm we can bring a bit of that joy, that little extra bit on top that might have been missing.
Yeah, and I think as well, like that's why it was really cool to have a merchandise item linked to the sampler, because it is something like graphic and visual and physical that you can have attached to the music.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a nice talking point. You're like, hey, I help raise money for charity and mental health, like buying this.
Yeah, exactly. Like limited merch runs for charity are such a good idea. I remember those Australian fires that happened like 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
Those really bad ones. I bought a cow decapitation, did a limited run shirt that the whole front album art is like badass drawings of Australian animals. And all the proceeds are going to those bushfire rescue things. So I own one of those in my cupboard, and I think it's a really cool shirt. People always like, dude, where'd you get that? I've never seen that cow decapitation shirt. It's like, it was a limited merch run for charity. And like, that's sick.
Yeah, I love stuff like that when you can tie it in. And then the new merch designs that we've had are just fantastic stuff. So if you haven't seen them, go on our Bandcamp page and have a look. You can see them on our social media as well. Go have a look.
Yeah, if you don't follow us on Bandcamp, that's the reason to do it, because we announce all of our merch runs on there, and every merch run we do is limited. So you want to make sure you get in during the time frame of when we're taking orders. Brendan, I know that you wanted to drop some hints, but we do have another merch item coming up.
Yeah. So I was working with Blasphemy Inc. And they have awesome artwork. They do really well, and awesome person to work with. They were really they dealt really well with my neediness. And we did a lot of the work before I officially paid him too, which is really great. Like, I was less like, hey man, I just have this idea, I'm just trying to run it by you. And then we just kept going. And then I was like, dude, this project's like almost done, and I haven't even officially like hired the guy yet, So I was like, but everything came out really great. And we'll have some stickers. We'll have we'll do a hoodie, a long sleeve, and a shirt again. And then we might see we could probably bust out an old design too, if anybody was looking for those. And we might do a hat or something,
That would be cool.
Some Band-Aids.
Hat would be cool.
I mean,
did you say Band-Aids? Yeah, we'll have our own cave.
Yeah, so you got music for your inside wounds and Band-Aids for your outside wounds.
I was actually thinking of
gotta protect those knuckles.
doing like beer coolers or like coasters as well.
Yeah, exactly. We're there's a lot we can do with, and then I'm actually started working on with like a tablecloth and things like that. So then hopefully when we get a booth set up to go to a festival or this and that, we can like actually have something cool to have like displayed. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
a
then
big flag or something like that.
was every
yeah, I've
merch
been
run
looking at like
Okay.
corrugated banners and stuff like that are like, you don't want to bend them, but like they'd be really nice.
I was just gonna say the other great thing about like all this new artwork is that means a whole new run of stickers too.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and if you look carefully, you can find those stickers in all over the world. There are multiple
Yeah.
countries where people who are fans of Cave Dweller have managed to put those stickers in some very unusual places in many different countries. So keep an eye out.
Yeah,
I slapped a few around internationally. I put one
I've done
on.
it too.
I put one on Abbey Road Studio, by the way, in the one with
Yeah,
the
very
that's
nice.
so sick. Yeah, that'll be that's a hard one to
That's
match.
nice.
It's good.
I
It's
like
good
doing
though.
like, cool venues and whatnot.
Venues are a good one.
I put one up in
Yeah,
have you ever heard of the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland? They're those really famous cliffs and all the images and postcards and stuff.
Yeah.
nice.
I was walking along there and there was like a power box that had a bunch of stickers on it. So I slapped one there, which is so this tourists will see that.
That's
That's
awesome.
those massive iconic Irish cliffs.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a CDM sticker on a power box along the path there.
That's so
Love
sick,
it.
dude. That's so sick. I wish I had I mean Cave Dweller wasn't around then, but I wish I had Cave Dweller stickers for some of the places that I've been to because man, I could have put CDM stickers in such sick places before.
I know. I love slapping
Yeah.
them. The funnier the slap, the better, though. I love putting them in
Yeah.
like obscure places.
Yeah, me too.
I had actually, my son was like, "Hey, I want to get a skateboard," and I'm like, "All right, cool. Well, if you're gonna get a skateboard, I'm gonna get a skateboard." So I was like, so it made me think about the Band-Aids, and then I was like, "All right,
Skateboards.
sweet." So I got like this like skateboard, and it's got like nothing on it, just all paint. It's just like a green bottom skateboard, and it's got the got a Cave Dweller sticker on it. That's all it is.
Skateboards are merch that I would love to see us do a limited run of one day.
We can do
Really
that.
cool.
That's definitely doable. There's a
There was
when there's a will, there's a way.
There
there
was
was a
actually...
charity.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, there was a charity sampler called No Comply, a Gaza skate park fundraise
yeah.
compilation, which we promoted this year as part of Levantine Week. If you go to Bandcamp, you will see you go to existrecords.bandcamp.com and you will see a fundraiser for the only skate park in Gaza, which is if you don't know much about Gaza, it is a part of Palestine that is a very, very hard done by place, victims of really severe apartheid there. And as part of their charity sampler, they had some really, really cool poppy flower skateboards. There were only 5. And the proceeds all went to the skate park charity. And yeah, really beautiful looking skateboards, really cool charity too. And they, the actual charity was it's a skate park that provides free equipment and free lessons for people and children in Gaza. And they have like an all girls skate team, and they have, and it really fits that kind of DIY like underground ethos that we do here at Cave Dweller. But I'd love to see us do some skateboards sometime. I think that'd be sick.
Their founder just passed, didn't he?
Yes.
Just quite sad. I don't know the details around it. I just know that he did.
Yeah, there aren't really all it has come out is that that has happened, but I don't know that the full the full circumstances around it are known yet. But Orodai Masri, who is the founder of Exist, that recently happened, which is a shame. But they are continuing, and they've done some great. Before we covered them, they have done some great charity work for charities related to Palestine. So
yeah, they were going to come on the podcast before his passing. That we were in the process of organizing that, so that was a shame.
Yeah.
We didn't get to speak with them before that happened.
Which on that topic, that's on the topic of people that we've worked with before. We have some fantastic partners. So if you're listening to this, you probably have seen some of these partners around, but we have a few partner websites that are running excellent projects. Like Afrobeats Intercity is one of them.
Yeah, great project.
We have republication deals with some of these websites. So you can, I think you can introduce some of these if you want to, James.
Sure, yeah. By the way, if you ever are curious, just go to our website. In the About section, we have an official partner section that lists all of these off with links to all of their sites if you want to check any of them out. So yeah, Afrobeats in the City is a fantastic one to start with. They do Afrobeat, world music, hip hop music from African artists, both in Africa and outside of it, primarily focusing a lot on, I would say, Nigeria for the most part is the biggest scene that they focus on, but they do cover other artists as well. Then we have Fuzztime from Mexico, really great stoner doom psych site that covers Mexican artists only. I mean, the scene is so rich, you know, that he's never going to run out of content, and that's
such a massive area, like for stoner rock, stoner doom, and psychedelic rock. I mean, like so much of that coming out of Mexico, and so much of it is just absolutely brilliant. So it's fantastic that
one of the best stoner scenes in the world. I mean, them and Brazil, like two huge, really good stoner scenes.
And we have some great little news about relating to Brazil that we can talk about later. But let's carry on.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, we will talk about that.
Yes.
I mean, there's always our first partner, Haitian Firm, record label based out of France. We've known those guys forever. Nick's a close friend of the site and to all of us.
Nick is sort of like he feels sort of like an uncle, like that.
Yeah,
he's always there. Yeah, cousin. That's right. Like he's always given us fantastic advice. He's helped us out.
He's like part of the CDM team without being part of the CDM team. It's like the unofficial member. And then we got Vargas Records, run by Justin Bolus. We had a great partnership with them. We continue to. I represent them through my other side business, which is Shredstorm PR. We'll talk about that in a little bit, doing their PR. We've got
great little curator of death metal.
Oh yeah, some very unusual death metal there. We've got Sounds and Shadows. They are a gothic post-punk electronic industrial site. A lot of good interviews and live show reviews out of there. Weird Days is one of our best performing partnerships. That is, they're a dungeon synth and I guess experimental ambient interview and review site. They cover some absolutely fantastic dungeon synth artists. Some really cool interviews with some big names in the scene. So make sure you check them out. Yeah.
Weird Days, I expect we'll be working with them quite a bit on our next charity project as well.
Yes, definitely. They're going to be involved with that one. There's a couple we have to update on the site. I just realized that aren't on there. We also have Amplified SD, which is one of our most recent partnerships. They're a local San Diego music blog that focuses on interviews, band profiles, live show footage and stuff. They have a really cool recording space in Oceanside. They have two actually. They have a recording studio that bands can book studio time in to record, and then they have a massive live music lounge where they record bands playing live sets for their podcast, which is really cool. And then they'll let the public come and actually attend those, which is awesome. We've also got 4ZZZ Radio. They're a community radio station based in Brisbane, Australia. They focus on female, LGBTQ, Indigenous artists, among other general music. A lot of great local Australian music there. Our radio show, Knucklebit Draggers Extravaganza, is actually hosted through that. So definitely give them a follow, show them some support. We have Monster Riff. They do some fantastic stoner metal, rock, and other related genre-focused stuff. They do interviews, reviews, some really great comedy pieces on the scene. And again, they have a podcast that's really worth listening to. Amplified SD, we mentioned. The Joy of Violent Movement, another great blog there. It's an independent music and photography blog with an international focus, looking at a lot of different genres, styles of music. That's a recent partnership. We've only shared a couple of pieces, but some great stuff coming out of there. We have some other stuff we've shared bits and pieces from, not official partners yet, but they may be in the future, so keep your eyes peeled. We're always talking to new people.
If you are listening to this, by the way, and you are somebody that runs a music website, or you run a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel, or a podcast and you're interested in partnering with us, you can contact us through our website. There is a contact form, or you can contact us through DM, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. DM, you will probably reach us a little faster, but we have multiple contact methods. Your fastest way is probably going to be to reach out to us on Instagram.
Yeah.
But if you are running a channel, whether it's audio or text or live streaming or video, you can contact us and we can always discuss partnerships. We're open to doing that. As James has highlighted, we have quite a few partners that we do endorse, and we've worked with them on quite a few little things, republications and charity projects and the like. So we're open to doing that more. We are here to celebrate underground and independent music and all forms of music and artwork. So reach out to us.
Yeah, we view CDM as like a writers collective, so it makes total sense for us to continue to work with more and more sites, new publications, and content sharing. That's it's the whole vibe we're going for. It's a community. We're not competing with other people. The more we can support each other, the better. The other two I forgot to mention is the Joy of Violent movement. It's a really cool blog's been going for quite a while that I don't even know how to describe what they cover. It's like a range of different indie electronic alternative stuff. Some really cool music in there. And then the other one is, I'm going to say this horribly, it's Dutch. And I should say it right because I'm not South African. But Sjoerd van Wyk, his Substack is somewhere we publish occasionally. He does a lot of cool little capsule reviews of a lot of varied music. So yeah, that's the majority of our partnerships there. If I missed anyone, I do apologize, but hit us up if you want to become a partner.
Yes, and reach out to us. We're always here.
What I did want to talk about as well, because this is going to be relevant to partnerships and hosting and that sort of thing, is we do have a new website coming. Yari, you've kind of taken the lead on that. Do you want to just tell people a little bit about what to expect there?
Sure. We are working on a brand new website. So when we originally, way back when, you can see a little bit about, you can learn a little bit of our journey from being a little Facebook group all the way up to what we are nowadays. If you go to our website, you look at our About section, you'll see that we started as this kind of small little jerky meme group on Facebook originally, way back in the early days of the pandemic. And we have grown quite a lot in leaps and bounds. And we have a huge archive of content. We have a great roster of writers and editors and fantastic people. In light of that, we have decided that it is time for us to get a brand new website. That means that now the website it is something that we are happy with, but we originally set it up when we knew we wanted to get more serious and we needed to have a website that we could obviously start publishing stuff on. We have been working with a web designer named Lee Edwards, and we are on track to later this year. I'm not going to give an exact launch date because that would be spoiling the surprise, but let's say Q3 or 4, and we are on track to have a brand new website. It's going to look amazing. We've got some new art for it. There's going to be lots of new sections for it. The tagging, the publication, so many aspects of this new website are really going to streamline what we do here at Cave Dweller. It's going to be a much better looking website as well on PC and on mobile. So
searchable too, which would be a big change.
So searchable, yeah. It's going to be a lot easier as well. One of the problems we've had, not to pull the curtain back a little too much, but one of the problems we've had is that the system that we use is a little limited and inflexible. So there have occasionally been ideas that we've wanted to do that we haven't been able to fully bring to fruition because of the limitations of our current pipeline. As a result of the new website, however, we are moving to a brand new platform. Again, we have a fantastic web designer. It is going to be something that will make it a lot easier for us to interact with the audience and to be able to promote things. We're going to have a whole set of new tools to be able to promote. If you are an artist listening to this, we are going to have a whole set of new tools to be able to promote you. And it is going to, it is going to just look a lot better and be a lot easier for you to navigate.
And then if you are like a record label or an artist, visual or audio, just to let you know, we will be having advertising space on the website that's exclusively going to be reserved for creatives. We're not going to do that whole thing where you just sell out to random company ads. But we will offer really reasonably priced ad space. So once their website's up, if you're interested in like running ads with us, let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
We are willing to as well, because something that I think is really important to us at Cave Dweller is that we don't just cover music and artists from the Anglo world, the English speaking world. Like we are an international platform. We have some fantastic writers. Naz Basharan, one of our recent recruits, is from Turkey and does fantastic work for us, and so one of the things that we prioritized when we talked about having ads, they are going to be unobtrusive. So if you're just a reader and you're listening to this, don't worry, it's going to be cool, it's going to be fine. But if you're an artist listening to this, whatever country you are from, it is going to be affordable for you as a band or as a soloist or whatever your project is. It will be affordable for you. You don't have to be a big budgeted American band to be able to afford this, whether you're from Brazil or whether you're from Kenya or Nigeria or wherever it is that you're from, Thailand. It will be affordable for you to be featured as well. So
we plan to have a couple of different spots with different price ranges, so there'll be something for everyone that they can choose to run with, depending on how much they want to spend, what their budget is.
Exactly.
And then the other thing I wanted to say is just to shout out Lee. If you don't know his website, check them out. That is The Sleeping Shaman. You may know that already if you follow the stoner or doom scene in any capacity, because he's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Shout out to The Sleeping Shaman. There is some, again, beautiful website over there. Great content. Definitely check that out.
And then lastly, with the website, we are planning, nothing's locked set in stone yet, but for those of you who are old school and like an email with updates on reviews and that sort of thing, we are planning to do a newsletter that you'll be able to sign up with attached to that website.
Yeah, so there's going to be so many new things that we'll be able to do with this website. We have so many more tools at our disposal. It's going to be a lot easier for us to link to new platforms.
And to host singles. We actually had to embed Bandcamp finally, so we can do premieres that way.
And to have just different sections, like on our homepage, to have different sections that are easy to navigate, easy to look at. You don't have to scroll forever. So we're going to have, if you just want to see the latest podcast episodes, you'll be able to just go straight to our homepage and you'll see them right there. Latest podcasts, they'll all be lined up, and you'll be able to see the latest articles. You'll be able to see interviews in their own little section. Whatever it is you're looking for, you will be able to find it much quicker.
Yep. I think that's probably a good point to talk about some of our side projects, or I guess plugins that the CDM staff have, because a lot of those will be listed there and findable there as well. I guess we could probably start with Matt's, because it's going to be featured on the website prominently as Knuckle Draggers Extravaganza. It is a radio show that one of our admins, Matt, hosts on 4ZZZ Radio in Australia. But you don't have to be in Australia to listen to it, because it is available online as well as live on air.
Knuckle Draggers is some really enjoyable stuff to listen to. And Matt as well, who, besides being, he is one of our very first writers at Cave Dweller. And if you are listening to this and you haven't read a Matt Lynch review, go to our website, read a Matt Lynch review now, any review. Whatever it is, you have to read this. It's like reading some Hunter S. Thompson stuff.
Great.
It is like gonzo as hell in the best way possible. I knew, reading Matt's reviews, the first time I saw one before I was even way back before I was even part of Cave Dweller, I saw one of those reviews and I was like, dude, I want to do like I want to, I'm not going to bite his style, but I was like, I want to. He's writing stuff that is uplifting and entertaining, and like
Genuine.
I want to do that. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
genuine.
Like his reviews made me want to write reviews. So like, please, and they are so entertaining. So please go read one.
And that his interview,
And he's a
his reviews
radio
translate directly to the way he speaks on the radio show too. So if you find his reviews entertaining, give him a listen when he actually has his banter with his co-host.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I was getting at. I got sidetracked a little bit, gushing about his writing stuff. He is a great host. He is so entertaining to listen to. He can talk for days. He would make an awesome Twitch streamer if he wanted to be.
Yeah, definitely. And his co-host name is Jared, which I forgot to mention. So yeah, Matt and Jared, great back
They
and
have a
forth.
great rapport.
Very different taste in music, so you get quite a variety between them.
So different between Matt's love of extreme metal and grindcore and Jared banging on about prog. Like it just makes for such a good such good banter.
And if you are Australian artist, and you would like to actually be featured on 4ZZZ Radio on the show, hit us up and we can organize that for you, because some great exposure there for Australian artists.
Yes, definitely.
Then Yari, do you want to talk about your Twitch streaming a little bit?
Yeah, so I have two things to bring up. Let me talk about my Twitch channel first. So I've been doing this. I've had an absolutely great time on Twitch the past. It's July. I've been doing this since February. It's crazy. I started streaming on Twitch back earlier this year in February, and my channel is twitch.tv/Dr. Yasman. So you go there and you will see me. You'll see me travel through different worlds. I have all sorts of graphics and layouts, and we sing sea shanties. I take requests for songs as well if you want them. I do freestyle raps. We play games. We talk about current events. We also, we listen to music that gets featured on Cave Dweller as well. So if you're an artist and you would like a little more coverage, you can contact us through Cave Dweller channels, or you can go to Twitch and you can DM me directly via Twitch if you would like to. And I will be happy to play your music. There are artists such as Nooses, for example, who is an artist that we love at Cave Dweller Music, who we've been covering since the early days. Nooses stuff I play a lot on my stream. But we do deep dives into all sorts of content, like political stuff, history, current events, and we play games as well. So, recently I've been playing Dark Souls, which is a really popular series. It's not one that I have ever really played much, though. So for me, it's like a blind playthrough. So we have a great community, and it's a great thriving community. It's been so much fun for me, and it's just been great to be able to do this and interact with the world and have it thrive the way that it has. So please do come along and check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Dr. Yasman, and you will get a taste. There's VODs as well. So if I'm not live, I do stream 3 times a week. In the US, usually they are morning streams. So usually Monday morning and Wednesday morning, and also Friday nights, or very late Friday nights. If you're in Australia, then you will catch me on Monday night, Wednesday night, and Saturday night. So awesome. Yeah. So it's been so much fun. It's been great something I actually would love to do is I just recently appeared on the channel that actually inspired me to start doing this. So there are 2 people that first inspired me to start streaming. One of them is somebody that I have promoted that we have promoted on the Cave episodes of the Cave, our video series, Carl DeLinden. It is a band with his brother Edward, and they're a power metal band, but they actually have a Twitch channel as well, and it's quite a big channel. And I was interviewed recently on his channel about a week ago, And it was great because we talked a bit about Cave Dweller on there as well. But something I actually would like to do now that I've kind of had a taste of appearing on other people's channels and the whole guest dynamic. I'd love to get people from Cave Dweller as guests on my channel sometime. So if that is something that I'm looking into, and if you're an artist as well, and you're looking for another place to promote your music, because there are so many viewers that I get that come through that hear some of the stuff that I'm listening to, or they hear me talk about something Cave Dweller related, and they're interested. And so there are a lot of viewers out there on Twitch that are kind of, in terms of music promotion, it's a little untapped. Most of the music promotion in video format kind of tends to be YouTube videos or TikToks.
Yeah, it's cool.
But if you're a band and you want another place to be promoted, contact us and say, hey, can I be featured on Yari, or Dr. Yasman's Twitch channel? And we can arrange that. So, don't be afraid to contact us, or you can contact me directly via DM on Twitch as well. So
awesome.
Is there something else? Yeah, there is one other thing that I want to. I don't mean to monopolize the.
You're busy, buddy.
Yeah, so there is this is a Cave Dweller project that we recently did. It was on the 27th. It was on the 27th of May. We recently promoted our first gig. So we were the primary sponsor for an event that was promoted by Bruxa Verde, which is a label that primarily does, a Brazilian label based in Sao Paulo that mainly does like stoner rock, doom, run by Mateus, and he is a fantastic promoter, and he has been sort of like a trusted associate of Cave Dweller for quite a while. Bruxa Verde is a label that we've reviewed a lot of bands from there on Cave Dweller before, and so we worked with him to help promote our website and promote some of our charity projects, and we had 3 bands at that gig. So Pachora and Weird Devil and Finis Hominis, who are all projects that we've reviewed before. We love their work. We promoted it. We've reviewed it. And yeah, so we had a gig. We had a Cave Dweller music gig, and discussions with Mateus. I mean, it had a great turnout. It went really well, and I think Brazil was Sao Paulo was just such a wonderful place for us to run our first gig, because the fans there are so dedicated to music, and they have been great to us at Cave Dweller too. We the first theme week we did was Brazil week, and Brazilian readers really turned out for that theme week. And there's so many great bands, so it won't be the last Cave Dweller gig, and it is something, potential sponsorships of gigs and things like that, especially if it's a gig that there are going to be bands that we cover. That is something that is likely to be a future project for us in an ongoing way. It won't be the last one in Brazil. There are things on the horizon. I don't have anything to announce right now, but yeah, isn't that amazing? I mean, for how far we have come, y'all, like that we're doing gigs, we're doing merch, we're raising money for amazing charities. Yeah.
It feels good to do all that.
Yeah, and to be able to actually, get people out there and see, see our name on the poster, like cool. for a gig, and like Brendan, you said before, like that we are looking at having merch tables, at events, and we are looking at, we're looking at doing so many things. There are big things on the horizon for Cave Dweller. And we may be, I don't know if I should really, it might be a little too early to say this, but if you've been enjoying our movie reviews I'm not going to announce anything yet, but if you've been enjoying our movie reviews, we've been running them twice a month. And if you've been enjoying those, watch this space, because all I'm going to say is we got a new website launching this year. So, and when I say we have the potential to do a lot more with this new website, well, think about it.
Can't handle the mystery. So I
Dun,
guess
dun, dun.
talking about what you just talked about, the charity sort of side of things, that's a good transition to what I've been doing with Heritage Harmony. So I recently started, I don't even know how long ago it was, probably about a month or two ago, a non-profit record label called Heritage Harmony Records. It is digital only, based on Bandcamp. And you might say digital only, like, how does that work? Well, basically, it's serving more as a platform for artists that are underrepresented, who don't have the exposure to the markets that they should, to put their music out there to the world. I guess the purpose of it is to, we're trying to help marginalized, underrepresented artists outside of what you already mentioned before, the Anglo world. So basically, people from South America, Central America, Africa, Southeast Asia, East Asia, the Middle East, Eastern Europe, those regions that generally get overlooked when it comes to music. Some of it's a language barrier, some of it's a cultural barrier, some of it's like a folk stylistic barrier, but either way, that's the music that we want to represent. And at the moment, sorry, yeah, go ahead, yeah.
All I was going to say is there's not many, there's so many amazing bands out there from all over the world, and there's not a lot of websites out there or platforms that will always give them coverage, because
Right.
As you say, there's a very particular set of countries that most English media covers.
Yes.
And so when we see some of the bands that have signed to Heritage Harmony, I mean, if you go to heritageharmonyrecords.bandcamp.com, you will see already there is a fantastic list of music there. 2 releases from Jeffrey's Jaws, a release from Zavi called Pithecanthropus EP, great stuff.
It's from Peru. Jeffrey Jaws, Russia.
Yeah, Russia, and Fishwives.
Yes, and
Phuket Session.
Unyawa are both South African.
Yeah, there's a Thai blues project there.
There's also a Filipino artist working in the US. Bo Razone is really cool
Razone,
dude.
yeah.
He's Filipino, but he lives in California at the moment, but he's back and forth between the two. But his music, he's been playing with artists from around the world for, I think, like 5 decades now. So his style works in like Afro-Cuban, North American, Southeast Asian, Mediterranean, West African influences, everything there. It's a really cool blend.
There's also a really cool release, like a kind of folky soul release, kind of little hip hop influences from a project called Bakantu, little album named Onyawo, from based out of Durban, South Africa. I think it is Durban.
Yeah, the project's called No Miyai, but it's a combined effort between who you said, and then also Captain MHC. The two of them go under that pseudonym together.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is more coming. That's what's there right now. There is actually another album by a Bulgarian band called Oddplay, but there seems to be an issue with it on Bandcamp right now, which I'm resolving. So yeah, if you are an artist that fits into that description, then you'd like to work with us or like some help being represented, hit us up. All profits go to you, and we'll do a bunch of work promoting you for free, basically.
It is a non-profit label, so
exactly, and that offer extends also within Europe and North America to indigenous peoples, ethnic and linguistic minorities. So
yeah, it's a brilliant project. It's a brilliant project, Heritage Harmony. Something that I think has been really in need, the music world has needed, and it's something that's great for us to be related with.
It's honestly very enjoyable for us too, because it's like all this, because we listen to such a wide variety of music that maybe doesn't get represented as much as it could on Cave Dweller. So it's nice to be able to work with like folk, blues, like indie hip hop artists and stuff like that. Outside of the normal range.
Yeah, exactly.
Break it up.
Exactly. And then the other thing I'll mention on my side is, so I've had a production company which is being PR focused for 2 years now, under Cave Dweller Productions. And that has recently rebranded to Shredstorm PR. So if you're familiar with CDP, that is no longer the company. It is now Shredstorm. And I did this for one main reason. Just there's a lot of ongoing confusion between what is Cave Dweller music and what is Cave Dweller PR. Constantly getting tagged by like the wrong account on the sites, credited on the wrong sites and stuff. So just to make it simpler, we moved the brand away from Cave Dweller just to clarify that it is in fact a different entity. And also the new logo. I mean, this might be maybe my bias, but I've had a few people tell me as well. I think it's pretty badass. It's super thrashy. So yeah, Shredstorm PR is what we're called now. And I also have partnered with Justin Volas of Vargas Records here. He is doing all of my graphic design and editing in that sense. So we can provide some pretty sweet graphics. We have a new YouTube channel that every artist we work with gets a single featured on. Some cool stuff there. Prices have changed very slightly because they were massively outdated. I hadn't updated them in 2 years. So it's $150 for a 1 month campaign. That includes press mailer, that includes EPK. I will host that on our YouTube channel, get you some premieres, that sort of thing. So if you need any PR services, definitely hit us up. If you just need a press kit and a EPK, that's only $50. Happy to make that for you as well.
Awesome.
Now, Brendan, you got anything that you wanted to talk about that you have going on?
No, I mean, we just have the new merch coming up. I mean, the artwork's done. I have it on file. I just have to reach out to the print company again, and then sticker company. I just have to get proofs. And then I wanted to, like I said, reach out to a couple other spots and get some samples of some silly little things, like just like even like Cave Dweller music pen,
Yeah.
But like, I was looking into a lot of those little things because I have the that avenue through the brewery. So
And I'm gonna ask you to talk about that a little more, but I just realized I should have given a shout out to some of the artists I'm working with really quickly on Shredstorm. We have Vermilion Dawn, really, really good tech death. Fans of Fallujah, Rivers of Nihil, The Faithless will love that. Album's called Boreal Valley. Moldering Vibrations. It's sludge and doom infused grindcore from LA. So picture grindcore with the track run for 4 or 5 minutes with slow heavy sections as well. It's really cool stuff.
yeah, I have the vinyl sitting right in front of me.
Oh yes, you do. Yeah, I've got the vinyl as well. It's a great album. Face of Corruption with a K. Their demo just came out. Personally, I mean, everyone who knows me knows I love really stupid slam. This is really stupid slam, but it's actually really personal album about drug addiction and homelessness,
It's
which
true.
is unusual for that genre. And then the other one that's going right now is Big Strut with the self-titled album. If you liked Chat Pile, that album that blew everyone away a few years ago, definitely check this out. It is a combo of like 90s noise rock mixed with sludge and post-hardcore. Really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Then lastly, Volus, which is black and death metal. That just dropped today, actually. So by the time this airs, they will be out earlier this week. Brendan, I did want to ask again. Tell us a little bit about some of the stuff you have coming out from your brewery this season.
Yeah, let's hear that.
Oh, jeez.
Give us the goods. Cough
We've
it up.
been pumping out all kinds of the smoothies now this time of year. This is absolutely insane, and we've picked up some new distros, which is cool, and we're in some southern states now, and then we're working on California still. I think that would be a fun spot to be. So we make these basically like it's a fruited sours and then fruited like seltzers that are just it's insane. They're like so drinkable. They're so good. And there's like we make lemonades, we make passion fruit and dragon fruit, we make mixed berries, all kinds of anything you could think of, really. We just made like a couple weeks ago a peach and raspberry one. They're just they're dangerous. You drink them fast because they're like refreshing, and you're like, oh, this just tastes like juice, and then like
Go down
4
and hit
beers
you
later,
hard.
you're like, whoa, I'm pretty buzzed right now.
I love that.
Yeah, it's good. They're really awesome, like for like that spring, summer, fall weather stuff. good flavors like that, because it's juice, easy drinking, gluten free too. So if you're gluten free and lactose and all that good stuff, you can have it and enjoy it. And yeah, that's that. But we actually have we're thinking about making some pumpkin beer next month, and we're gonna start thinking about doing ciders and stouts as well coming up for the end of the summer. Because all that stuff takes like a month or so, and then trying to get the logistics of it all done on top of all the other stuff that we have to make. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's good stuff.
Awesome. I know we need to talk about this quickly as well. Just announce that we have another charity sampler coming up, which is Dungeon Synth focused. The first time we've ever done something like that, and all proceeds are going to go to trans awareness and trans rights organization.
Yes, based.
Yeah, battle hymns. I believe it's called Battle Hymns and Transitions.
Battle Hymns, Triumphs, and Transitions. Yeah,
that's right. Battle Hymns, Triumphs, and Transitions.
It's
awesome.
Sorry, you go ahead, James.
I was just say awesome name and awesome album art that suits it perfectly.
It's fantastic that we get to branch out as well. I mean, we've had, I think something that's been great this year with these charity samplers is that we've been able to branch out a little bit. The mom's always going to be there, but mind over metal, that is. But when our hot mommy,
yeah.
But when we earlier this year we did Violence Against Violence. And
I think we should try and do that every year, maybe.
I think we could. Yeah. I think that went really well too. That was if you are new to our platform and you weren't around for Violence Against Violence, that was something we did earlier this year back in February, and it was a charity sampler we did for Medicine Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, and it was grindcore and power violence.
It was awesome.
Aggressive
good participation there too. A lot of people jumped on that.
Tommy Wilson again on the artwork there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a great lineup. So many like innovative artists on there. Those are genres I think that in metal platforms in general don't necessarily get enough exposure, especially power violence.
Yeah.
But there's some really innovative stuff. I mean, I instantly there were some bands that I kind of always knew that we needed to have on that sampler, and they all appeared on it. And yeah, but that was us branching out a bit, and you all made that a huge success. Now the next one is Dungeon Synth, and that is just so great for us to, I mean, genre wise, great for us to be able to branch out into.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, because it's there's a lot of people that would enjoy it but don't really know it. So I think it would be also a great way to kind of expose people to something that they not normally would get down with.
Yeah, and the great thing about the scene is it's like one of the most passionate, self-supporting scenes I've ever seen. Like the Dungeon Synth scene, like really takes care of its own type thing. So I expect that it's going to do pretty well.
Absolutely,
I think so. Yeah, there's some great
I hope so.
artists
I mean,
there.
I think it's a very niche genre, so people really who are in the scene really support the scene, and it's one of those scenes where a lot of the fans actually are artists too.
Yeah, I know we haven't really talked about it either, but I was thinking about doing a just a simple like a long sleeve shirt that's like a nice like baby blue, with like just the album art on it
for the sampler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That is a really good idea. That is a really good, especially the color. Yeah, we can because the artwork
like
we have for
like,
it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's baby blue or like it's not teal. I don't know.
No, baby blue is good. I mean. Baby blue is a good color.
We'll match it up, and
that's awesome.
It
has. Good idea.
It's going to be a great sampler. There's some great artists on there, and Aaron Michael Cobes, who, by the way, I mean, shout out. We have some new web admins who have been helping us behind the scenes and doing so much work, more than you could possibly know, listener. Has just been such a relief for us to have. So Aaron Cobes and Sydney Davidson, who are people that have been long time writers for our website, have recently joined us as staff, web admins.
Yeah,
so
big helps.
yeah, they've done such a great job, and they also add their own nice little flares to our team musically, because we all have common tastes, but each of us adds a little bit of something to that mix. Like
Of course.
Curbs has that he has this deep passion for Midwestern hip hop, and he has like this
and dungeon
deep
synth.
and dungeon synth, yeah. And so he has these like deep knowledges of those genres that just are really great to have. And his reviews are always so in depth. We always get so much praise for his reviews because he
Writes
really
so
busts.
much.
Yeah, absolutely busts his ass when he does
he's really well versed in that. For me, it takes so long. I'm like, I got to sit down, this and that. Then the kids start to bother me. And then I'm like, oh, crap, I really probably shouldn't be writing right now. Then I go to sit down and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm tired.
Carbs bangs them out. Sydney does as well. I mean, Sydney Davidson, our other new admin, also fantastic. Really knows his death metal well. And he just somehow manages to get us. There are the upcoming projects that he's kind of involved with that I don't know how he manages to work his magic to get some of these interviews. Like
it was the same with Jared from Australia. Always got like whores and stuff. Like
he's nailing some good bands.
Canonian Fiber.
Yeah, so it's just I mean, Sydney adds his own kind of magic, and he's been doing a great job as well. So it's great to have new people Definitely. Involved. And Cobes has been integral in battle hymns. So
it's basically his baby. He's
exactly.
He's run it all.
Yeah, and he's done a great job of that so far.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is just a really small announcement that I just want to say for anyone who already knows who he is, Tom Hanno has started contributing to Cave Dweller Music, which is a big, it's huge for us. I mean, he's a great writer. He's very well known in the Doom Stoner scene. He writes for a lot of the biggest sites out there. So we're very happy to have him contributing here at CDM and glad he decided to join us. And then I believe we're kind of wrapping things up here. So before we do,
I'll get a shout out first. I got a few shout outs.
Do a shout out, and then I just wanted us to run through some of our albums we've been listening to lately, like a couple of things we're liking.
Okay, so I have 3 quick shout outs.
Nice.
One of them is for one of our writers. Well, I guess I've got two individuals I want to mention here. One of them is Naz Basharan, who I mentioned briefly before, but she is like our main man in Turkey, and she has been just putting out this amazing coverage of bands from that region, and she has a radio show. So if you go to modyan.com, MODYAN, if you speak Turkish, it is Turkish media. But if you know Turkish and you're interested in movies and music, go to Radio Modyan, so modyan.com, and check out her radio show. She has just recently joined us as one of our regular writers as well, and she translates her reviews to English. So you can read about all these fantastic Turkish bands. Another one that I want to shout out is Thomas Batchelor, who is just coming on as a regular writer as well. He's pretty much exclusively been covering movies for us, which is a new medium for us to cover, that we've been experimenting with, as you know. We kind of mentioned it a little bit before, which, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's pretty damn awesome for us to be covering like a totally different medium like that.
Yeah, I love it. We have
I agree.
The Bloody Rambler, who has also been writing movie reviews for us, and he focuses specifically on horror.
Yes, so between the Bloody Rambler and Thomas, we have, I mean, Thomas has pretty much exclusively focused on kind of really independent world movies, and really independent sorts of projects for the most part, and Bloody Rambler with these great horror reviews. So we've just been, and they have been really setting it off with those reviews. So I really wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
And also, I just have two artists I want to mention.
Yes.
One of them is USA Hole.
Yes.
So USA Hole is somebody that there is going to be an upcoming review of this by me on the website as well. USA Hole has just released an album called Satanic Portal, and so they are a Twitch streamer who is also contributing a brand new song to our upcoming Dungeon Synth sampler, Battle Hymns, Triumph and Transitions. They have a Twitch stream that you can go Twitch TV /USA Hole. The O in Hole is a 0. So they are a non-binary streamer that talks about politics, talks about punk music, talks about chiptune and circuit bending. Great stream, amazing music. So, check that out. And also a shout out to Carl DeLinden, who is a Twitch streamer that I've worked with quite a bit on my Twitch channel. And has an upcoming album that I am hoping to interview on my channel and maybe bring on the podcast if we can. Carl DeLinden is aside from great music and being a brilliant streamer, he was in a band called Death Kids, and he was 9 years old, and he was like performing with some really incredible bands. Like I'll tell you guys about it later. I don't want to spoil future interviews, but so shout out to Twitch, Carl DeLinden, twitch.tv/Forest of Wires. I've been working with him a little bit on my channel. I'll be covering his stuff as well. He probably will appear on a sampler next year, maybe. So yeah, that's my shout outs for today.
Awesome. And then I probably just want to say welcome to the team as well as Maddie, Stephen, and Otto, who both submitted their first pieces this week, both excellent pieces. Great. So let's talk about some of what we've been listening to lately before we wrap things up. Who wants to go first? I don't mind.
Let us have it, Brendan.
Yeah, go, Brendan.
All right. I've been listening to 7 by Will Haven. They just released their 7th album, and they're it's an amazing band. That noise rock and sludge. They toured a lot back in the early 2000s and all that. My dogs are barking like crazy. And then I've been listening to End Rain, which is the album is The Way of All Flesh is Decay, and it's Mike's score from All Out War, Adam Jarvis from Pig Destroyer and Misery Index, Arthur Legree from Bloodlet, and Sebastian Phillips from Exhumed and Noisium.
Holy shit.
So yeah, dude, it's fucking sick. And it's produced by one of the guys that did Jesus Christ. One of these guys that did Integrity.
Wow.
Sorry, that produced a bunch of Integrity stuff. Those dogs are barking like crazy. And it's fucking sick, man. It's a really badass album. It's really good. Probably gonna be one of my favorites of all the years, maybe this year. So are all the albums.
Nice. Yeah.
What do you got, James?
I can go, yeah. So this is one of these I already shouted out in a recent podcast anyway, but I still have it in rotation. I'm just obsessed with the album. Is an album called Cadence by Cinder Well. She is a artist that's based between California and Ireland. Really stripped back, minimalistic, dark folk. Just really chill, kind of depressing, but beautiful at the same time. I love it.
Love that sort of stuff.
Yeah, me too. And then one of the other ones, my review came out this morning, actually, about an hour and a half ago, is Hieroglyphics, an album called I'll Wait, I Guess. And Hieroglyphics is a UK drum and bass artist that, I mean, you would call them that as a bass level, But he
This is a
works,
great album.
it's great. Works in a ton of other genres. Like he goes to everything from like drum and bass, hip hop, jazz, dubstep, drill, grime. Dude's a master with the synth and has some really good at picking guest artists to work with, make some really cool collaborations. So yeah, if you look for something different outside of like the heavy stuff, this is a nice break from it. And what about you, Ari?
Definitely. Before I get into my seriously, check out that Hieroglyphics LP. Like it is really good. Like it is really good.
Yes.
For my own part, I've been two albums that I just I want to take a moment to highlight. It's weird. It feels weird that I feel the necessity to highlight a Yes album and tell people, please listen to this album because it's Yes. I mean, it's these prog rock gods, you know. But they released an album called Cut from the Stars this year. One of my favorite albums of the year. When we get to do the end of year lists, it's you know surely going to be on that list. I know you, James, were the one that first notified me about it, and it's crazy how little coverage this album got, and still
I know
doesn't. Nobody's talking about it, even though it's, I mean, easily one of the best prog albums of the year that I've heard. And I mean, yes, are here, and they have amazing talent. They have a new vocalist, obviously, who just does such a brilliant job. It feels like classic Yes, but it's modern as well. So it's just a brilliant. Check out the videos. Check it out on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, look it up. Cut from the Stars, brilliant album. I know you loved it too, James. We spent a lot of time talking about it.
We only discovered that because Tidal has such a great algorithm. Honestly, it recommends like fantastic stuff. Like it's like, hey, you might like Yes. And I was like, holy shit, a new Yes album. And then they did the same thing for the new Jethro Tull as well. So yeah, if you don't
the
have
new
Tidal,
Jethro Tull,
really good too, by the way. And
I was unaware.
the new Peter Gabriel tracks as well. Those remixes he did, the dark gothic remixes from Peter
I
Gabriel.
haven't listened to that yet. You mentioned
really
that to
good.
me, I think.
Really good too. If you don't use Tidal, Brendan and I will always recommend Tidal. The algorithm is algorithm is fantastic. I mean, you already used it for a little bit as well.
It gets a little weird for me because I like one weird random album from like, you know, I was like listening to some old hip hop from back like mid to like thousands, and now all of a sudden I was like, you might like all these other weird things, and I'm just like, no, I gotta get this out of here. But then for the most part, it really is great.
You can only fix it though if you do like a little bit of listening on some other stuff. It will like eclipse that random thing and take it out.
Oh yeah. Well, what it does, it's more of like the suggested albums, is like stuff like that, you know.
Right.
But like when you if you listen to something and then you're like, hey, if you listen to, like you just said, like Yes, then it was like you might like this a lot. Like it's those albums and stuff are spot on, usually very, very well placed. But it's like some of the suggested new stuff. I'm like, I don't know what this artist is from 2005, and I'll give it a try, and then I'm like, no, that's not what I want at all.
Right.
But I give it a try at least.
I mean, you already used Tidal for a while. I think you said you really like the algorithm as well.
Yeah, I did like the algorithm. I found the recommendations. I mean, I'm pretty picky with recommendations by algorithms. You know, it's something that I find annoying on so many services, because it's like I often just find myself wanting to not have an algorithm and to just see what's posted in chronological order, or just
right.
Let me just see what I want, because most of the time I don't find that these algorithms really give me what I would want anyway. But on Tidal, yeah, fantastic, does a fantastic job. Like whenever I would get recommendations, would just be auto played onto stuff. 9 times out of 10 with Tidal, did a great job. I mean, I use Apple Music as well, and I think it's pretty good service, but Tidal definitely, like the audio quality was, you know, the audio quality is better and than any other service, and which it matters to me. And if it doesn't currently matter to you, well, maybe try giving Tidal a go, and then it probably will after that.
Yeah. Once you
I definitely recommend it 100%.
And then they also pay the most to the artists as well, like by a large margin, like almost double. It might have been triple even what Spotify pays.
Yeah,
per
it's quite a lot
stream.
more.
Plus, the artist that you listen to the most each month actually gets, I think, half of your subscription that month, which is really cool.
Never really been a fan of Spotify. But
No, Spotify sucks.
Tide, yeah, it's
The,
not a
the,
good service.
the only thing
Overrated.
they're really good at is podcasts, and I will give them that. They have a great podcast service.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. It really does my head in. That's the main thing I hate about Apple Music is that it does my head in I mean, I'm an Apple Music user that uses it on Android, so I don't use it on, I don't have any Apple devices.
Right.
Well, I do have AirPods, so I have a Apple device. But and Apple Music runs great on Android devices. However, whether you use it on iOS or not, it doesn't have the podcasts. And
Yeah.
that really annoys me. I have a separate app for podcasts, which is a really great app, but it's so annoying that I can't just I mean, it's annoying because Apple has a podcasts app, but it's Apple Podcasts. So you got to have a whole separate app. It's like, if I'm going to have a separate app, I'm just going to get one that, like, if I have to use a third party app, then I can get one that's better than anything you can provide me, because
Right.
like, third parties have already done it. You know, like I use one called, I think it's Podcast Addict, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, they're great.
The interface isn't quite as slick as what Apple would do, but everything else, the feature wise, it's so much better. Really frustrates me that I can't just boot up Apple Music and get all the podcasts when they already have them. They just want you to front through this separate app, which is really annoying.
It is.
Spotify does a fantastic job with podcasts, but not much else, in my opinion.
Exactly. Like, they don't treat artists well. The streaming quality isn't as good, but I love the fact that I can switch from an album straight into a podcast seamlessly.
The pods, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Yari, what are your two?
Yeah. So my two. So besides Yes, Cut from the Stars, please go listen to it. Please listen to it. I beg you to listen to this album by these prog legends. It's weird that I have to say that. Seriously, please listen to it. Why won't anybody? But anyway, the other one is, I keep asking people if they've heard of this band, and nobody has said yes to me yet. Funny, yes, but no, it's not yes, but please listen to Cut from the Stars. But this band is the Deer Hunter, and they have an album. So they're like they don't really call themselves prog rock, but I mean, to me, it's basically prog rock.
They open up for Nine Inch Nails and shit.
Yeah, that's right. So, but it's weird. Like, the amount of people I keep saying, people ask me, what am I listening to? And I say, Anti-My by the Deer Hunter. It's an amazing album. They seem to have a weirdly niche audience. I'm not sure why, but their latest album is, when I tell people about it and they say, what does it sound like? I tell them that it's like if somebody took the Crash Bandicoot soundtrack from PS1, or any Crash Bandicoot game really, and turned that into an album of beautiful rock music. Like, it's like Crash Bandicoot prog, and it's amazing. It's kind of peppy. It's kind of like a little bit computer gamey sounding. It's like a sci-fi sort of theme. This like dystopian city. Each track is about a different part of the city. It's got cults. It's got poverty. It's got cyberpunk aspects. And musically as well. It just sounds so unique. The combination of influences with these little kind of calypso and steel drums, and then guitar solos, and this album came out last year, but I'm still thinking about it, still constantly listening to it. I love this album so much that, despite the fact that I rated it as my favorite album of 2022 on Cave Dweller Music, when we got to that part last year, I love it so much that I'm kind of terrified to write a review of it. Because I feel like I don't think I can do justice on the letter. So, like, I might just have to say to somebody, like, please review this for me, because I don't feel like I can live up to it. But then again, maybe I just need to sit there and say, damn it, just write the review. But whatever it is, it's an amazing album. Probably one of my favorite. I listen to a lot of music, obviously we all do. And sometimes you hear an album and you think, this is like better than anything I've heard in ages in that style. And I kind of feel that way with this album. They've just done, the Deer Hunter just did such an amazing job with this album, Anti-My. And they have a follow-up coming out, I think this year. But boy, boy, what a great album Anti-My is. Please listen to that as well. But I don't need to, when you hear it, you're gonna just keep listening to it, just like that Yes album.
Yeah. So I think that kind of brings us to the end. One thing I did miss saying, and I need to say it. Thank you so much to Avenge Creations for designing the new Shredstorm logo. I forgot to actually name drop him when I mentioned the rebrand. So
It looks sick. It's got a bit of edge to it. It's got
Yeah.
a bit of thrash to it.
yeah, and if you don't know his work, he actually did the CDM logo and the CDP logo, as well as a bunch of our art. So Avenge Creation, if you ever need any logo work done or anything like that, he's fantastic, super reliable, very affordable, great dude to use. Yeah, I believe honestly we've covered everything here today. For anyone listening, most of what we talked about today can be found through our link tree or on our website. So if you go to our link tree, you'll find links over to the Dungeons and Sampler, the podcast, Shredstorm. We've got links to Heritage Harmony there. There's Cave Dweller, the Knuckle Dragons Extravaganza, Yari's Discord server. All of it's right there. You can click through it very easily. I said Discord, but please be aware we do also have a Discord, which we haven't really pushed much lately, but it is there if anyone wants to use it.
Yes, we do have a Discord server. It's something, I guess it's something we need to promote a bit more, but we do have a Discord server, and yeah, you can go in there, and there are channels for you to make recommendations, for you to talk about stuff you like. There's genre tags if you want to put those under your name. Like it's a good little Discord server, and we'd definitely love to have more people in there. So go have a look. Linktree has it.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks for listening to this episode. We know it's a bit of a departure from our usual guest style interviews, but we kind of wanted to fill you guys in on everything that's going on. There's a lot that's happening this year, a lot that's still coming this year. And thank you for all of your support across all of our new initiatives and
Absolutely.
projects. Just in general, for reading our reviews, for listening to our podcast. We appreciate all of the patronage and all of the support.
Yeah, 2023 has been a huge year for us. Maybe our biggest
Absolutely.
year. And
Yes.
and it is thanks to you, the listener, who have been supporting us in all our projects. You've been listening to this amazing podcast. You've been watching The Cave. You've been reading our reviews. Like everything we do, you've been buying our albums. Like it is thanks to you that we've been able to boom.
Thanks for helping us make it happen.
Yeah, and if you haven't yet, make sure to join the Cave Dweller Music group. Great place for you to meet people who follow the page, who follow the podcast. Great place for artists to share their music. Feel free to self-promote in there. Just a good community, and we'd love to have you in there if you aren't there already.
Absolutely.
And thanks for tuning in this week. We'll be back again next week with another guest. The next guest will be Walko, the Italian stoner doom band with the black metal aesthetic. Tune in for that one. I'm sure you're going to love it.